Hi, this is Coach Randy Stoughton at the Kegel Training Center in Lake Wales, Florida, and the head coach of Weber International University's Lady Warriors. What we have right here in front of us is Katie Thornton, uh, one of our star athletes on our women's team, and this is Katie when she first got here in 2009, and this is Katie leaving us in 2014, and we just wanted to point out some of the things that Katie has learned along the way in her 5-year tenure here, at least in her physical game. We won't be able to get into all the things that she's learned about the rest of the game so far as lane environments and bowling balls and adjustments and those types of things, how to tweak her game. Physical game is also a big part of what she's learned here, but just in the physical game alone, we're going to point out some things that she's improved on and made or helped make her a better bowler. Um, First and foremost is just in the setup. Again, we try to promote angles that are make it easier to get into a position in the approach, so that you're not doing too much going from point A to point B to point C to point D. You're starting yourself off in point B, and you go right into level D, and making it very simple to get into your posture of delivery from your setup position. And one of those big components are angles. Developing a setup position that produces the angles that you're going to eventually go to execute the good shot. And one of the keys to making a good shot is keeping this mass in balance, called the bowling ball, close to the center of your body. And the closer the ball is to the center of your body, the center of gravity of your body, the stronger you become, the easier it is to manage that massive imbalance that you're swinging off the end of your hand, and you're trying to throw it at 18, 19 miles an hour. And Katie does a good job of throwing the ball at 18 plus miles an hour and producing about 280 to 300 RPM. So it's a real challenge to deal with this massive imbalance. So good timing, good posturing, good positioning are the ingredients to make it easy to repeat a shot over and over again that has a nice fluid look to it. So when we notice the difference is here now to then, the first thing that comes to my visual is her shoulder angle is much squarer here. She's got more tip to her shoulder angle here, and she's got a little bit more front to back to it as well. It's kind of hard to see in this front on picture. Side view would be a little bit more easily seen here, but this shoulder here is definitely in front of this shoulder here, and it's going to remain that way throughout the entire swing. And all of her movements and everything that she does is going to promote that end result. The body has to attain some angle so that the swing can stay straight. And that's the ultimate goal of bowling, is to keep the bowling ball on the arm on a direct path or a line to your break point. And coming up with angles is very, very important, because the bowling balls of today make it that we have to throw the ball inside out. And as a right-handed bowler, that's going to require the left shoulder to be in front of the right shoulder to produce an angle equivalent enough to create a line for the ball and the arm to also be on an inside-out line, but not to the degree of the body. So the body's going to take on a bigger angle. Now, when the ball gets in motion, timing-wise, and you're delivering the ball from a setup position into the swing, the key to that is going to be this right foot and right arm going out together. And you can see that they're in rhythm with each other, and they land together. That foot gets flat and the ball is fully extended, and her back angle is being set into its release position very quickly here. And even more importantly is this foot is crossing over in front of the left foot. The right foot crosses over in front of the left, and that produces space for her bowling ball and her arm to swing underneath her head, that has an angle tilted from the hips to the neck. So again, we can see some angle right here that gets her leaning to the right, and then the ball falls underneath, and then she tips forward as she reaches forward with that balance arm and creates this beautiful balance line right here. And again, you're going to see this profile by most of the best in the world. They've got some version of it one way or another, but the bowling ball in today's world is above the head, again, to a very high ratio of the best bowlers in the world have all got this profile, and that's why we teach it. Here on the beginning version of her, you can see that they're basically the same level. The ball and the balance arm are on the same level, as opposed to high versus low. Coming into the hit zone, again, you can see her ball is still above her head, but yet it's going to arrive at the release point at the same time. So that means that the ball is traveling through there at a higher rate of speed because it had a further distance of travel. So it means it had to travel faster to get to that same spot. And again, when you get to the bottom of the swing, you can see, again, this shoulder here is now behind. This shoulder here is in front. It's got angle to it, but it doesn't have quite enough. But even more importantly is her upper body is twisted pointing this way as opposed to going down the line. And keeping that left shoulder in front is the key to that. And getting that shoulder, that right shoulder, to drop underneath the head. Again, come underneath, swing through, elbow is in as opposed to out. Again, elbow is right underneath her chin right there. Right here you can see her elbow is to the outside of her head. So again, that is a very large amount of space. That's 4 inches of space right there. Another key point to look at is how far the ball is coming inside to out. Again, here she's more outside of her ankle, so you know the ball is going on a straighter line to the target line. This has got more of an inside-out angle because the ball is closer to her ankle. Her hand, a little bit more behind on the side of the ball here. She's more behind the ball here. Again, all of these are indications that she's in a better position physically to handle the bowling ball coming through the hit zone, which is where she's at right now. This is the hit zone right through here. And then you exit the ball, and she's going to be more behind it. She's going to get the ball into the lane, and she's going to get some more rev. And her output of energy is undeniable. I mean, it's easy to see that this ball on the right is revving more than this ball on the left. But it all comes from better positioning. You can also see that her slide leg is pointed to the outside with her foot, and her knee is in a vulnerable position right here, as opposed to what we see right here. Much stronger, safer physically for her to be on a line more directly to her target versus one part of her body is going one direction, another part of her body is going another direction. And when you start twisting that, injury is one step away. So again, all the things that she's done here is, it's an inch here, a half inch there, a half a mile an hour here, mile an hour there. Rev, maybe 1 to 2 more revs total output. So instead of 12, she's getting 14, maybe even 15 with a low RG ball in her hand, and getting the ball delivered to the lane with more power, more energy, more confidence. And again, she's pretty balanced in both of these pictures, but one of the things that I wanted to point out here is she is posting the shot. She's got her head on the ball. She's watching that ball go down the lane and trying to get feedback on so far as ball motion and ball reaction goes. So if she needs to make a change, she's posted her shot, so she knows she's not the source of the problem, so she can go right to the ball in the lane as her means for change if one is needed. But you're looking at one of our star students here over the last 5 years at the Weber International University bowling program, a 3-time national champion, academic All-American, and just one of the nicest people you'll ever want to meet. And we're sorry to see her go, but we know we're going to see her in bowling for many years to come.